Hey guys, it's Go. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, please do well to click the like and subscribe button. In today's video, we'll be exploring the heart of a town named Onicha-Olona. Do well to sit back and enjoy. Onicha-Olona is a community in Onicha North local government area of Delta State, Nigeria. It is a semi-urban community located about 35 km northwest of the Delta State capital, Asaba, and approximately 13 km north of Ise local town. It is made up of 6 quarters, namely Obobi, Umolu, Agba, Idumuje, Ubekenu, and Ishepe. Onicha-Olona operates a kinship system of governance, wherein the Obi is the traditional ruler. The main occupation of the people is farming. While some people are artisans, others are engaged in trading and civil service. Onicha-Olona is predominantly a Christian community. The traditional religion, though still freely practiced, has lost most of its adherents to Christianity.
What really made this civilization of Christianity, religion, that are adoring cutting pieces of wood and started calling it your father. A young person knows that a stick cannot speak, or you mold something as an image, as a resemblance of something. Is that Christianity took over?
People recognize each other's choice. If I chose to be a Christian, nobody would force you to come and abandon your Christianity and join in any traditional thing which you don't want to join in.
The major occupation of the community is farming, with both the men and women engaging in full-time subsistence agricultural activities. Though many women augment their means of livelihood with petty trading, while a few engage in medium to large-scale commercial trading. The town is situated on plain lowland in the rainforest geographical belt, with rich lush green vegetation and a good moderate climate with appreciable sunshine. Onicha-Olona, being in the rainforest, experiences 2 climatic seasons, namely the rainy season and dry season, which makes it a place where agriculture thrives. Historically, Onicha-Olona is said to belong to the Eze-Chime clan, which is reputed to have a common ancestral origin.
But we are talking about Onicha-Olona, which is one of the Eze-Chime clans.
We are Onicha-Olona is one of the sons of Eze-Chime. We are popularly known as Eze-Chime.
A version of oral tradition claims that the Eze-Chime clan may have originated from Benin in Edo State sometime in the 15th or 16th century. Linguistics suggest a rather close tie to the Igbo tribe from across the Niger, but that will be a story for another day. Onicha-Olona has various traditional practices, of which includes various traditional festivals. Some of these traditional festivals include the Iwaji Festival, the Idolu Festival, and the Iboji Festival. These festivals are tied around their season of agriculture, which is the major occupation of the townspeople.
The festivals are tied around agriculture, which is, like I said, which is the main occupation of people. They are tied around agriculture, giving room for the beginning of the farming season. They have some rites that they go through, to proclaim the beginning of the farming season. And because of planting, some get into worship of the god of agriculture, the Jogu. Not everybody does that, but that goes. The harvest season goes with its own practices and festivals. It's done in stages where the leaders or members of the leadership, beginning with the Obi, the Bala, the high class of the Bala, Dinze, and then the Bala people take their turns, to celebrate the New Yam. They go, all our festivals are tied to our season of agriculture. We have the Ine Festival. The Ine Festival, where it's still part of the celebration of, it's not done until we're in the harvest season. We were very, very respectable people, the waywardness that we see today, we're not allowed. I met it as a child that you could put out your wares on the road. Many wares had fixed prices, and which was known to everybody. Anybody who needed to buy that will come at that time, pick up what he needed, and drop the money there. That's part of our history. We're disciplined people. We didn't condone sinful habits, and anybody who was caught at that time was shamed. Unlike what we have today, where we glorify thieves and all that.
If you do anything before, they tie you on that either that the person committed any atrocity or killed somebody. Murder is one of the greatest against our tradition and tradition till today. It's now that when somebody kills an elephant, DSS will arrest him, and if found, and he will be tied to that armor, and the ant will continue biting until he dies. That armor, no, you don't touch it. You don't touch it.
About our social life. In my time as a child, I met the habit of a community coming together to help one of their own build a house. Starting from the foundation, most houses then were built of mud. The community will come together, schedule days to work, and will make the mud that is required for the building of the house. And they do it in 3 or 4 layers. At the end, it was the responsibility of the same people to provide thatch roofs. I met it where such love was expressed. I also met in my own time, those early childhood days, when a man who was ill had his farm attended to by his relations until he was well enough to go to do his own work, his own farm. Anytime any man was ill, we had a culture, part of our history, that we'll gather together and go and tend his farms until he was well enough to go back to it. The same thing also goes to marriage. When a young man is of marriageable age and he doesn't have a wife, part of our history is that the community helped in one way or the other to help him get a wife and maintain a home. If he was rich enough to build his own house, they will build his own house. But if he wasn't rich enough, the community will gather, like I said before, through communal labor and help him build his own house. Those things were part of our culture and our history that today you don't find anymore. And it's important that we must mention them because today people are going their own ways.
And there's one natural acquisition in us. We love strangers than our brothers. You cannot walk along the Onicha-Olona road by 2 or 3 and be harmed. Instead, where if they go, wherever they find where to say, okay, come and sleep. We receive strangers than our own brothers. And that's why you find strangers are finding comfort in Onicha-Olona till today. We don't discriminate against strangers because of that day. ime onye imebe nwe nọ imegbu ọbịa onye ọbịa ime nke ime nwe. For that reason, and that why that our area is called Onicha, with large clean character.
When we didn't have public power supply, we didn't have public water supply. All of us depended on the stream, get there, grew up, and when the schools came, we started going to school. And Christianity, the schools were initially established by missionaries. In my own early days, Christians discriminated among themselves. It wasn't easy at that time. It wasn't easy for any Catholic to just go and marry an Anglican. It was more, there was a taboo, it was. So,
allegedly, the Uba statue symbolizes the first ESA of Onicha-Olona. He was a very fierce and powerful warrior and a hunter. He was one of the first settlers and gatekeepers of Onicha-Olona. He was the traditional prime minister of Onicha-Olona, leader of the Onotu group. The Omu statue symbolizes the traditional leader of the women in Onicha-Olona. The Otiekwe statue is the symbol of the town's crier, which is the symbol of the town's traditional information dissemination system. Allegedly, the Obaje, Olo, and children statue is the founding family of Umolu village, Obaje being the husband and Olo being the wife and their children.
very, very many challenges. The first, by my own ranking, is our inability to produce a reliable history for the town. We have moved on and come on and allowed the early generations who would have passed this history. They were not recorded anywhere. But even those of us who had the privilege of oral tradition are not many. So that to me is the greatest challenge that we have.
Because everybody understands that the economy is harsh and disposable income is very low, because whatever you do, the little you make, you got, by inflationary trends and so on. So
then talking about challenges, the kingship issue is a very big challenge. Not many people fancy the Okpalabisi system of leadership. Most communities believe in the hereditary system, whereby a heir apparent is identified early and efforts are made to groom him and place him where he should be. But today, you find a man above 80, coming on to lead the town. Many of them have no proper education, so that's another big challenge.
Some of the challenges we are having here is about a higher institution. For a very long time, Olona has been clamoring for a higher institution, because we all know that when there is a higher institution in a community, like a town, we are no longer a remote community. We are now a town.
Another challenge is that in the past, the youth embraced education and skill acquisition. But today, that is a story for another generation. This present generation believe in making money by hook or crook. And that's what I said before, that in the past, a thief was shamed openly But today, most thieves are glorified. That's one challenge, another challenge that we have.
Well, Onicha-Olona would have been more developed than it is now, because we know that everything that happens in every part of Africa is always politically motivated.
What communities like this require is government intervention in terms of maybe a subsidy, agriculture, for example. If you talk of agriculture, how can you improve agriculture within this community? All the government requires first is to identify people within the community who are interested in farming. We're currently we're in a subsistence economy, and you know you also have commercial farming. So between subsistence and commercial, you can do something midway. So there are key things actually that should be done. Challenges we face that, so that everybody in the community will be actively engaged. We have enough land, the resources are numerous, so most people can go into farming. But that education, the supply of hybrid crops, and the knowledge about utilization of such crops and so on, are also vital that people must know and understand, so that it helps to begin to build up hope to place and give people hope that this year I want to grow tomato. You get the point? I know the right time to start. I know the kind of seedling to buy. It's corn you want to grow, you will also know. And then gradually, as you are growing in some of those aspects, then the industries or whatever the facilities that will utilize them